always in awe of how God shows up and just clears the sky, and the moon is there, and the Holy Spirit is beyond present. And for me, I always feel like there are words that I take away from Revive. And women, we get together with women who we leave our judgments behind, we leave our idols behind, we come with chains and we walk away free. And that place that we get to go with each other is, it's beautiful, and it's what God's created fellowship for. This year, He showed me more than anything is that I'm radiant to Him, and that He loves me, and that I'm worthy and valuable. And the week before this Revive in January, my good girlfriend called me and she said, "Hey, do you want to know what I found in my coat pocket?" So obviously that was during the winter time. And I was like, "What?" And she's like, "I found your card from Revive." And she's like, "Do you remember we wrote down words?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I think so." I have the worst memory in the world. And she's like, "You wrote down endurance and how beautiful it is that God has given you so much endurance through this season of healing, through this year of endurance that God gave me that word at Revive." I show up in January and it was not the perfect night. I swear the night of Revive is never the perfect night. I don't want to come because something has happened in my day and I'm drained and I'm tired, and I literally looked at Jesus and He's like, "Go, you need to go." So through the Holy Spirit and obedience, I show up, and my husband had just given me some horrible news in passing. He walked in the door to take the kids and I walked out, and he gave me some bad news with his job. And I literally got in the car and was like, "God, what else? What else? I feel like we have walked so much this year." And I walked into Revive and I saw smiling faces and cookies, and that made me very happy. And then I just saw my friends, and I see Leslie on stage, who is a dear friend of mine, but just hearing her voice and knowing that's who God called to sing that night, it was beautiful. God orchestrated, I felt like, this moment for me. And even though we weren't out underneath the stars, the Holy Spirit and His presence was alive and well in the church. So I get in the pew and I'm telling some of my best friends how the day went, and they just hug me and I start crying. And I just went to the cross and I said, "God, I just need a word from you. I need one word. I'm so drained. I'm so tired." And about that time, Leslie wrapped up her singing, and the pianist started to, out of nowhere, lead worship. And he said, "I'm just going to sing off the cuff. I don't even know if we have the words for it." And he started singing, I call it an old hymn, but it's "I love you, Lord, and I lift my voice." And I about fell to the ground in worship, because that is the same song I sing my daughters every night at bedtime. That is the same song I've sang since I was a child, when I was fearful or alone or scared. And God just told me in that moment, He said, "You needed a word? I gave you a whole entire song, because that's how much I love you, and you're not alone." And I couldn't breathe, I couldn't speak. I couldn't wait for the song to be over, because I wanted to share with the ladies around me how amazing Jesus is, and how He speaks to us through the Holy Spirit, and how, I don't know, when you come and you surrender yourself in this place, in this moment at Revive, He shows up. He shows up in that gap. So my hope is always for women who are struggling. I don't care if it's bondage, mom shaming, it's addiction, it's infidelity, it's lust. I don't care where you're at. If you show up and surrender, He will be there. He will meet